work up to the nationals, but don't start with like don't start with the big one and then go to the small one that's trying to support something, that tries to get everybody else that has that or that has that common thread to it.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And like knock that down because you've seen something better, and then like all of a sudden you're going like, yeah, you know, this show is probably not going to be as good as that one. And I've met like a lot of people that do that in like the 15 some odd years that I've been going to cons.
Right. No judgments.
Yeah, I've been going since like 1995.
Nice.
So
very
like
nice.
and out of all of that time, I've only missed 1 year, 1997, and then everything else from there on out has been just trying to attend as many shows, just try to like budget, sleep out of my car if I have to, hang out at a friend's place, or make a lot of friends in the area, and just, you know, really develop those friendships and make more friends outside of the convention.
Yes.
So that you don't just
So you're not just relying on them
yeah.
to be there.
Yeah, because like a lot of people I know, they go like, "Oh, are you going to AX?" I'm like going, "No." They're like, "Oh, then I don't think we can hang out." It's like, I go like, "Yeah, I'm visiting the area right now. Con's not happening, you know." Like I see that a lot too. So it's kind of, so I've met just my con friends, and then like people who like want to extend their friendships and
your
stuff
actual
out, like,
friends,
relationships
yes.
out to that, you know. So
That's really cool.
So I put a lot of time into just developing like friendships that way, and like going like, okay, you know, if I'm only going to talk to you at con, then we pretty much can't, like, you know, I can't really see us being like
it's like having a Facebook friend that you only talk to on Facebook and no other place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like that. So, you know, that's why. But yeah, getting back to it, I'm just like, or getting back to things. I believe that you really have to start with the local shows, support those, get them bigger, so that people in the area will appreciate what you see with the area, and then at some point like work up to the bigger shows.
Well, because I remember back in the day, Fresno only had the otaku generation, and they met like once a month in the Manchester Mall, and they rented out like an empty room and watched like 5 hours of anime, and that was all we had.
I remember stories about them, and then I also knew about like how AniJam had AniJam second, Fresno AnimeCon first. It was like all planning, but like all of it just kind of like went all over the place. When I heard about AniJam, I was a guest of honor at their first AniJam.
Fantastic.
And then I really just wanted to be a vendor. I wanted to be a swap meter. I didn't want to be anything else. But the guy running it was like going, "No, you ran a public access show up in San Francisco that talks about anime fandom and did anime reviews and went to conventions, met up with voice actors and such." And then he goes, "That to us is important. We need somebody to talk about that aspect of the culture and talk to everybody in Fresno about that." So I came here for that, and I came here for that, but I said like, but I still want to be a vendor, right? And they're like, you'll let me be a vendor? And they're like going, yeah, you know, yeah, you do that. But we want you to be a guest. And I'm like, okay. So
you need like 2 badges that says guest vendor.
Yeah, I was just like, they only had like, I think they gave the badges only to people who were attending. Like attendees only got them, but then like vendors just showed up at their booths and just vended. The owner of the show back then knew everybody by face, so he goes like, okay, if I didn't recognize you, yeah, you don't belong here, and if you don't have a badge, then go out and pay for one. You know?
I see.
God, AniJam, I remember the first AniJam. That's like a whole other story entirely. And I'm pretty sure that going to run into like all the interview time that you want to do.
Right. So this has been AniView by Dave. I, of course, am Dave, sitting here talking with Ray Nagar about being a YouTube reviewer and going to cons in the Valley, and it's awesome.
I am so sorry. I was just like,
no, that's exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, I told everybody yesterday at the panel, I'm a walking panel. I don't you can just ask me a question. I was just like, if you don't have a tape recorder automatically running while I'm talking, you're
missing out, people.
You're missing out because like everything that I talk about, I'm just like,